close your eyes. A world unfolds, not made of memories, but of something deeper. You walk through streets you've never seen, speak languages you've never learned, meet people who shouldn't exist. And yet, in that moment, it feels more real than waking life. We call it a dream. But what if dreams aren't creations of the mind? What if they're transmissions, echoes from another version of you? When the body sleeps, consciousness loosens its grip on the physical world. The brain's filters, or the ones that keep reality stable, begin to fade, and in that silence, signals may pass through. Quantum physicists already know that particles can exist in many places at once. So what happens when a brain, made of billions of those particles, enters its own superposition? During REM sleep, neurons don't rest. They fire in complex coordinated patterns, forming entire worlds out of pure information. Scientists call it memory consolidation. But that explanation doesn't fit everything, because dreams aren't limited to what we remember. They create what we've never lived. They generate scenes, faces, and futures that never existed in this timeline. Why does the brain, an organ of logic, build universes each night? Perhaps because dreaming is not imagination, it's perception, not creation, but connection. Neuroscientists describe the brain as a self-contained simulator, running nightly tests of possibility. What if this happened? What if I chose differently? But what if those simulations are not internal? What if they're real glimpses of other branches of reality? Quantum physics tells us that everything exists in superposition until observed. Each measurement collapses the wave into one definite outcome. But if consciousness itself participates in that collapse, then the observer is part of the equation, and every mind defines its own universe. Inside each neuron, microscopic structures called microtubules vibrate at quantum scales. Physicists Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff proposed that these microtubules might sustain quantum coherence, meaning that within them, consciousness operates like a quantum field. If that's true, the brain isn't just processing information, it's receiving it from the very fabric of the cosmos. In waking life, consciousness is locked to one stream of reality, but during sleep, that lock loosens. The thalamus, the brain's sensory gatekeeper, shuts out the external world, allowing signals from within or beyond to flow freely. The mind drifts into the zero-point field, the universal energy sea that connects every particle in existence. There, distance means nothing. Information isn't transmitted, it's shared. Dreams could be the brain's nightly synchronization with that universal field, a kind of quantum cloud update where data aligns across versions of you. Sometimes that connection feels so real that when you wake, for a few seconds, you don't know which world you're in. Maybe that's because you were living another's memory. Another you from a neighboring branch of the multiverse. The many worlds interpretation says that every decision, every quantum event, creates new realities. Each version of you continues down a different path. Rave, from the old French word for dream, once meant a wandering. Perhaps dreaming is the moment your consciousness wanders across those infinite paths, sampling the data of its counterparts. In physics, particles can perform quantum tunneling, slipping through barriers they should never cross. Could consciousness do the same? Could a dreaming mind tunnel through probability itself, momentarily existing in another outcome of its own life? That might explain the mystery of prophetic dreams, when the future leaks into the present. In Wheeler's delayed choice experiment, decisions made now influence particles' behavior in the past. Time, at the quantum level, isn't linear. Past, present, and future coexist like pages of a book. Your dreaming mind might simply be flipping through those pages out of order. EEG studies show that during REM sleep, the brain's electrical complexity nearly matches that of wakefulness. fMRI scans reveal activation in the visual cortex, motor cortex, and emotional centers, as if the dreamer were truly living inside another reality. And in lucid dream experiments at Stanford, dreamers moved their eyes in specific patterns that were recorded in real time. They sent signals from inside the dream. Consciousness, it seems, can bridge worlds. Some researchers go further. They suggest that dreams are moments of coherent information leakage, when parallel versions of ourselves share data through quantum entanglement. If consciousness is non-local, then thoughts could resonate across universes like ripples spreading through a shared ocean. Maybe déjà vu is not a glitch in memory, but a faint echo of synchronization. The mind briefly remembering another iteration of this moment. This would also explain the strange elasticity of dream time. In a few minutes of sleep, we can live entire lifetimes. Neuroscientists call this synaptic time lag. Information moves at different speeds between brain regions, distorting the subjective flow of time. But what if that distortion happens because the brain is syncing to timelines where time itself runs differently? Even the thalamus, once seen as a simple relay station, behaves like a biological gateway during REM. It cuts off sensory input from the external world while amplifying internal signals. Maybe it's not a gate closing, but a gate opening, a temporary portal between the neural and the cosmic. If every observation splits reality, then dreams might be the mind's way of visiting those branching points, experiencing the lives born from choices we didn't make. Perhaps dreams are memories of unchosen paths, lives actually lived by other versions of us. Twin studies have shown that identical twins sometimes report the same dream on the same night. Coincidence? Or quantum entanglement of minds? If two particles can remain connected across galaxies, maybe two consciousnesses can too. That idea leads to the collective mind field, a resonance that links all living brains through shared frequencies. When billions of humans sleep simultaneously, their minds might merge into a single global pattern, a vast neural chorus in which individuality fades and consciousness dreams itself as humanity. Some call this panpsychism, the view that all matter contains consciousness. From atoms to galaxies, everything participates in awareness. If so, then the universe isn't a machine, and says it's a living mind, and dreams are how it remembers itself through us. In this view, reality is layered like a program. Waking life is one level, dreams are another. The system occasionally reveals its code through glitches, coincidences, déjà vu, intuitive knowledge, hints that both layers run on the same underlying architecture of information. Lucid dreaming experiments, precognitive dream studies, and REM phase synchrony research all point toward one conclusion. Dreaming is not a passive replay of memory. It's an active mode of consciousness that may access the same quantum informational structure governing physical reality. Somewhere between science and spirit, between neuron and photon, between self and cosmos, dreams act as the protocol of consciousness. Packets of data pass from one mind to another, from one universe to the next. Maybe that's why some dreams change you, because they're not symbolic, they're experienced. They come from lived realities, sent through the quantum network of existence to update who you are here. So perhaps sleep is not the end of awareness, it's the moment when awareness remembers that it was never limited to a single world. Maybe the same field that binds particles also binds minds. Maybe life is a dream that learned how to remember itself. When you wake, your brain seals the connection, the bridge fades, but somewhere another version of you is closing its eyes, dreaming of this life, feeling the same pulse, asking the same question. Perhaps dreams are not your mind escaping reality, but reality escaping your mind. Perhaps you're not only the dreamer, you are also being dreamed. And when billions of dreamers drift into sleep tonight, their thoughts may echo through the quantum sea, weaving a single, silent truth. That the universe itself is dreaming and you are one of its dreams. If this changed how you see reality, subscribe to Deep Science, where every question opens another universe.